Hello, this is Mystic Rider, and welcome to another episode of CoasterFaQs Reacts, a series where we look at upcoming roller coasters, rides, and attractions. Now, for this episode, we're going to be looking at Kondaa. I apologize if I mispronounced that. I don't know how to speak in Belgium, but it's a Intamin Mega Coaster as a. Intamin Mega Coaster is basically their Intamin's hypercoaster model, but this thing's not really a hypercoaster. I mean, a height of 164 foot. It's short of the hypercoaster range by 36 foot. But still, if I'm right, since it is their hypercoaster model, I can kind of get an idea on what it's going to be like. Along with that 164 foot tall height of 164 foot, it's also going to have a top speed of 70.2 miles an hour and have a total length of 3,937 foot. Now, some notable elements about this, which is interesting to me, it says it's going to have a 124.7 chain lift hill. Which makes me think that it's either a terrain coaster or it's gonna have a ton, or it's gonna have a drop that its drop is going to be on tunnel. Because when your lift hill is that much shorter than your maximum height, it does point to a few things. Another notable element, which this is a new one for me, is a non-inverting cobra roll. Now, from what I can gather, it's going to have a non-inverting cobra roll. It's going to have a similar feel to a cobra roll. The cobra roll, it's basically a half loop that takes you into basically two half corkscrew sections that ultimately turn the train. Two half corkscrew sections, and then followed by another half loop, and ultimately a cobra roll turns you around. And the reason why it's called that is because it looks like the head of a cobra. And as for a non-inverting cobra roll, I'm pretty sure it's going to have a similar feel to that, but there will be on the two half loop parts, there's a twist. It's going to be a twisting section that will prevent you from going upside down. So interesting. I wonder where they're going to. My best guess, but based on that, on what I know about cobra rolls, I got a pretty good idea on where the non-inverted cobra roll is going to be on the layout. And on that note, let's get into the video. The video is from Amusement Insider, and on that note, here we go. Okay, wow. Wow. That was, this was pretty crazy. I mean, well, it's not that tall, but it's not a hyper size, not at the size of an actual hypercoaster, but it, as I thought, it definitely has a hypercoaster feel, but it's just next level. So there are a lot of, I noticed there's a ton of speed hills and speed hills as well as just regular speed hills, bunny hops, as well as other airtime points that are going to give you some serious ejector as well as strong, not serious ejectors, some moderate ejectors to some solid floater airtime. And so multiple, there's an outer bank hill as well as a wave turn, which I have not seen on a hypercoaster yet. This thing is definitely going to be insane. And as I thought with that, the coolest element is that non-inverting Cobra roll, which is just phenomenal. I've heard of non-inverting loops, and those are always pretty decent, but that thing is just insane. I do see there will be a lot of twisting laterals as well. Laterals, some floater, or as you're cresting, especially on the second half, as well as just overall, it's going to be an insane coaster. I'm pretty excited to see what this thing will look like once it's fully constructed. And so on that note, this is the Mystic Rider, and I'll see you next time.